always get confused. Well, yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see what these two teams are able to cook up, both in the draft and in the game.
Now I want to
As
say
it does seem, our
that
draft has just started.
Yes. I wanted to bring attention to that. Take us through the first few events. I just want to say that Scuffed Ratones have not won a group stage match, but have had really great showings against some of the better teams, like a Versio, for example. While Violmi did win a match, they did lose the other two, but it does make them the stronger seed. They picked red side for this match, and I'm curious to see what it's going to be. I would assume it's to give Zambiru an advantage in top lane. What do you think about these bans so far, Nano?
I think for the most part it makes sense. You have just, hey, enemy team is very good on these champions, let's get them out. Like you said, they're picking red side, most likely to give that top lane a bit of an edge. So we're removing Shen from the get-go, not letting him play it. Shen right now is a very strong champ. With Bard locked in, B1, it's not the worst B1.
I mean, picking a support early could be problematic, as it's typically a good counter picking role. Other than that, I want to talk a bit about the bans as well. Sosi, of course, for Vio enemy, plays a good ASOL, and Misfortune is played a lot by the AD carry. At the same time, Shen for Zambiru's classic. While the bans here targeting Locke, Sinister, and Darkin, all three of Vio enemies bans are one tricks basically, or close to as much one tricks as they can be. So Scuffed also need to think about this. Leona Ashe.
Bit unsure about counter picking yourself into Bard.
Yes, I was gonna say that too, right? It's I think range support, especially something like Bard that can have good disengage as well, is pretty good into the Leona, but it has to be a counter
pretty sure, yeah. Pretty sure Scuffed Ratones can just pick Severe here and let the Bard be an absolute menace around the map. It does seem like we're gonna go with a Senna, which is not the worst. You do, of course, at least are, you're somewhat safe with Senna. You have your W, you have your Q, you have your ult. I mean, they're all tools which can help you survive dives, and hopefully can help you stay at a distance.
If you're following as well, Scuffed Ratones, Sinister had a really good Senna game against Versio as well. I want to let you guys know as well that both Synth and Aspect in the support role and mid lane took the ratings very seriously, and they were looking to improve, especially for this game. So I would really think that both sides are really... Sorry. Yes! It's a Briar picked in the jungle. I'm happy. Sorry, Scuffed Ratones. I have to side with Fire enemy now. Oh, I'm so happy they have a Briar.
I'm a bit confused about the Maokai pick. It could be a Maokai top. I think Maokai top makes more sense here. A bit scared if that's a Maokai jungle. I don't think Maokai jungle exactly fits.
It could be a Maokai jungle. I mean, why not? It's a bit slow, but yeah, I mean, it's a bit impossible to play Briar-ish in this setup unless the ults are landed, or maybe, a certain play style is applied. But if we're talking traditionally, it's a bit hard if we're just playing for the first Drake or the first grab fights and this sort of stuff. Lots of CC on the side of Scuffed Ratones at the moment. Good range and burst, so... But let's see. The Malzahar ban against Sosi. So Sosi is now limited to Annie. And I'm curious what Fire and go for their next bans. They could ban out Pantheon, but it seems like it's gonna be the Vex. So Scuffed Ratones now have from what they've played so far, Echo and Swain. These are still potential options unless they have something else in mind. Let's see what their last ban is.
I think both champions actually fit here. Depends realistically on what you're trying to do.
Don't shout too much. Is it a Trundle ban? Do Scuffed Ratones leave the Trundle open?
Will they leave the Trundle open? That is a good question. I'd imagine. Ooh, what Ergot?
I'm not sure what that Ergot is doing there. I'm pretty sure Zambiru would not have played Ergot if Ergot was the last top laner left to play. But his Vayne and Trundle are both options here. Both would be really good. I like Trundle against the Maokai. What will it be? Any ideas here, Nano? Diana.
Diana. Okay. This is actually a champion I've been thinking about and I've been talking about a bit. I think this champion is stupidly underrated mid lane. I think out of every single mid lane assassin, I think she unironically fits the meta the most. She's got these like fast bursts of damage. She can abuse the electrocute. She's got this really good laning phase against mages. She's got amazing skirmishes. And most importantly, for a mid lane assassin, she can engage fights. As Veigar is picked. Okay, getting a bit of. Whoa, Veigar set. That is actually a. Wow, that's. There we go. That is a bit of a crazy combo. I think that fits now. I think okay, I can understand the Maokai now. I actually understand the Maokai
No
now.
man, Scuffed Ratones and drafting go hand in hand at the moment, huh? And I really like this like mid-range control with Set causing disruption, Senna gaining stacks, etc. I think Veigar into Diana is a great pick. Really controlling the Diana. The Malphite does throw Scuffed Ratones' plan a bit out the window though. Because if Malphite can get on top of Senna, potentially bears her down, that's a lot of their damage and DPS gone, and then it would be up to Veigar and Set. And I mean, between Ashe, Diana, and Briar, I don't see how Veigar and Set can take down the entire team. But Zampiro Malphite, what do you think now with the current picks and bans? Who has this in the bag?
I think it's look, I think just through draft, yes, the Malphite pick is pretty strong in trying to counter what Scuffed Ratones is trying to do. At the same time, you're picking Malphite into set Veigar. To be completely honest with you, I think, again, like you said, Scuffed Ratones and drafting, I mean, I'm genuinely amazed. They somehow always manage to pick these comps, which I'm just like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. I mean, obviously, you know, you have Veigar, you have Senna, and you have Bard, and even Maokai, to be honest. All champions who, before they get their like first item, kind of struggle. And so we should see here a very strong early game from Fire Enemy. So will they be able to run away with the game through that early game? That said, once they start reaching their 2, 3, 4 item spikes, I mean, I think Scuffed Ratones just has this in the game. This is a game of cat and mouse, where provided you have Scuffed Ratones and they just keep running and they don't get caught, they can probably just run away with the game.
So you are in favor of Scuffed Ratones draft at the moment, right? From what I
As usual, man. As you look, I love their drafts. I don't know what else to say. I think they just make sense.
Look, I don't care. I just want YOLO Swag Killer on this Briar to take over everything, man. To invade level 2, bite who's Scuffed Ratones, bite Lock in his three stuff, and sort of, you know, take over the map. That's what I want to see. Come on, Killer, you got this. Let me quickly take a snapshot of this draft and show it to the rest of the Discord. What's going on here with the Fire Enemy picking Briar like that. I think they're trying to make me happy, eh? Who knows?
Could be trying to earn favor here.
Check.
I will point out the background music is only playing in one area, like one side.
What does that mean?
Like it's only playing on the right, not the left.
Alright. Good, you mentioned it much. I need to turn that off when we are drafting, ideally. It's a bit too loud, I think. But anyway, whoever set up the stream is like not thinking about everything. Tisk. Madam, 2 minutes to go. How do I see team fights happening? What if Diana gets a lead? And between Malphite CC, Diana can just one-shot Senna Veigar, or close to. I think it's a bit over, no?
True. If Diana does manage to get a lead here, I mean, honestly, if any of them here get a lead, I think the game ends up being really, really hard for Scuffed Ratones. Scuffed Ratones, I mean, they scale pretty linearly, right? So as the game goes on, they just get stronger and stronger. They spike at 1 items, they spike really hard at 2 items. Um, and then they just keep getting stronger. But if you look at the Vire enemies comp, you just have this team where like they're pretty strong. If I'm being completely honest with you, up until their second or third item. So provided they can get some really nice team fights, which of course you can with Diana, Malphite, and Leona, in those like first few skirmishes, those first few drakes. I mean, I can see them sort of just like getting ahead enough that they just run away with the game.
Let's see here. We have some people commenting. ICO Ikoyochi. Hello, welcome to the chat. Let's go. Killer X Briar. Let's see. Yes, I'm in favor as well. Laughable Llama, let's go. Agony. Alright, nice. Zidak. Ready to take on the Rift. Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Welcome to the Eden Grand Tournament semi-finals. Vire enemy versus Scuffed Ratones. What is this? We see some potential early game from Def and Benas. This can't be Malta, can it? And we see here Locke has spotted YOLO Swag Killer as well. Dove Soap. Fun fact about Veigar's name. He named this because he is washed. There we go. Veigar with the +1 and 10 gold. First strike Veigar. He's going to be stacking in every sense of the word at the moment. Let's see, do we have some music here? Let's do it. Sorry guys, I need to do this. Boom. Alright, so with most volatile lane, we see both junglers patting down to bot lane. So I would assume we'd see a lot of action around that mid bot lane. Veigar can of course give some setup, but Diana has a bit more trouble before 6. I don't know, similarly top, seems like Scuffed Ratones have a lot more setup overall everywhere with the set, with Senna Bard as well, so early ganks should be in favor of Scuffed Ratones. We do see Saucy pushing in there.
I am a bit scared again. If you are rooting here for Scuffed Ratones, the game can snowball pretty easily out of control. If they play maybe like a tiny bit too aggressive, they don't position exactly perfectly. As what the is going on? Dove Soap just teleported mid lane.
No. Damn. I wonder what.
Okay,
what that has to be a misclick, right?
I mean, that or he's just asserting dominance. There's not really any other way that can go. Zambiru is clapping Darkin.
Now I'm told that Darkin was given a mission, and the mission was don't die in lane. So let's see if he will be able to accomplish this. Alright, yep, you're right. We need to fix that. Alright, so Diana mid lane as well, not a, how you say, like the most common pick. He also went Ignite, so maybe Dove was just trying to even the odds and not have teleport in this matchup. Sinister taking a bit of a long trade there. Ideally he trades with the... Oh, there is Sint going in with the Bard.
Here comes YOLO Swag Killer. This could be a bit of a misplay. You're playing safe, guys. As Bingus is stunned there. Wait a second.
What a play by Locke!
Seems to go towards the Ignite. Does stick. Dev does manage to shut down Locke. Dev tries to go back in. Gets hit by the W, but here comes YOLO Swag Killer. The W goes in, the Q hits, that is 3 kills for the side of VYE.
Incredible return play by YOLO, Swag Killer and Dev. Sinister and Sint pushing a bit too much their limits there and sort of walking into that Briar who does end up eating them. It's a bit of a sad play there. We could have also maybe healed up Locke and still got the kill. So Scuffed Ratones there could have walked away with 1 kill. But it ends up being 1-4-3 in favor of Fire Enemy. Now it's all on Briar. So what do you think this will impact the current game state, Nano?
I think the biggest thing which you need to look out for now is, of course, the kills are on the jungler. He does get that time at, which means he's going to be clearing faster, but also he now has more damage, which means that his ganks should be that much more potent. And keep in mind, it's these solo lanes which you're really afraid of them spiraling out of control. So if YOLO Swag uses these kills to spiral this Malphite, let him scale into a giant armor threat, spirals Diana, and she just becomes a huge menace, right, with her first 2 items. I mean, this could spell big trouble for the side of Ratones.
Let's see how it goes here.
It's actually, here we have Saucy trying to come in, is kind of just stunned, forced to walk back.
Saucy overall has been one of the most roaming mid laners we've seen in this entire series. It's really nice to see him experiment, get good timers, and he only missed 6 minions at the... well, he didn't really miss anything. The whole wave's here, so he missed nothing and got a good roam off. Would be nice to see more out of mid laners as such. Let's see. Oh, this might be a good gank for YOLO Swag. His Darken is a bit too far extended here without flash as well.
And without W, and that is another kill.
Then this Briar needs to be banned.
Very nice flash from Dove Soap. The Q, the W, the Oro. Will he die? No, he doesn't. Double W from Sin, but he's still gonna die to the Ignite.
Yeah,
those Ignite buffs coming in.
I really like it. Scuffed Ratones are still trying their best. Look at Locke here with the perfect analysis that his AD carry will be in trouble with the Bard roam. And there it is, Dev and Benas. Their engage is forfeited thanks to Locke. To see, no, not at all. Some CS lead there actually for Zambiro. To see 19 CS for this Malphite. He is up 700 gold at the moment.
Ooh, his Locke just barely able to back. However, that back has shown that he's not there. Means they are able to start this Drake immediately, and with 0 pressure from their bot and their mid, it will probably result in the first Drake going over to Fire Enemy. As Darkin slapping Zambiro the best he can.
Let's see here, Dragon is taken. YOLO Swag Killer is doing God's work at the moment for Fire Enemy. He's everywhere. He's ganking bot, ganking top, taking dragons.
Yes, man. This is what I mean with this Diana. She's just such a menace to deal with as a mage. She dashes on top of you, she procs her electrocute, and then she walks away with a fat shield from her W. It's a very annoying lane.
We saw that before Dove Soap had Cookie he could have used maybe. Let's see if maybe he kept it for this moment. There's
Knocked
the Q
into the Vagar cage. Is it enough? The ult comes out. That's a kill for Saucy. And it will be a 1-for-1.
Insane mid lane plays at the moment here. Dove Soap. Saucy managing to find these return plays as well. Not really losing much from it. And look at YOLO Swag, they're hovering. Let's see how this goes. Alright, we get the Bard.
Oh.
A great Bile Dart here.
But it will not be enough. And that will be another kill. This Briar is taking over the entire map.
Bit of maybe miscommunication by Fire and me as Dev sends his ult one way and Benas sends it the other, but the end result is still a kill onto Sint. Now let's see if we can maybe dive Sinister here as Benas and Dev are taking plates at the moment. It doesn't seem to be that they have that confidence, so they will let it be for the time being. Let's see here, Zambiro currently sitting at a very comfortable, damn, that's a big number, 30 CS lead at the moment. But Darkin successfully... Oh no, Darkin could lose so much. He already missed a lot of creeps, alright. This gank could have been a very big disaster for Darkin if he actually fell here. Even if he got the kill, I think. But luckily SR go against it.
And here comes Synth going to attempt. Try to do something into Saucy, just alter forward for a second. He will have to use his flash for that.
If I was Saucy right now, I'm like, hey, killer, you know, you're helping everyone and you're getting everything, I get that, but how about some help for me, brother? Why you let me go, huh?
Truth be told, if there is a lane here, Saucy does engage. The damage is large, it's not enough. Will he get the last Q? It does not look like it.
Good calculation though from Saucy, considering he's maybe not the most familiar with this champ from what we see him play usually, but it does seem like he has some familiarity. He's in a CS lead and very close damage numbers there. Let's see. Oh, there's the engage by Dev. Sinister instantly cleanses and flashes away.
Might be in a bit of trouble here as Locke will run in. He's looking for the W on Bingas. He does get it. Q's both. Bingas forced to flash and barrier, but I think he will go down to one. No, just one, and the tick from the Fated Ashes as Sinister picks up Dev. And that is 2 kills. Darkin, meanwhile, getting visited by the Briar slap, and he is gone.
I really like what YOLO Swag is doing here. I don't know if it's by coincidence due to the dive, but if you're ever ulting with Briar, ulting from behind people seems to have a better accuracy rate, but I really like what's going on here in the bot lane. It's actually pronounced Benas, and Dev here are kind of having some trouble as Locke finds a great gank. It's looking quite balanced, I would say. So Scuffed Ratones are once again finding great plays in the bot lane and jungle, while sort of kind of suffering, but not as much as Versio in the top lane. So hopefully here Darkin will still be able to help peel for Sinister. Let's see. Locke with his completed item. This Maokai could also be a bit of trouble, as most of our enemy rely on people not having too much resistances.
What a champion Diana is. Just chunking Veigar at half HP, even with the Roa. As Darkin will ult some Beetle back. The W does come out, but that is all your damage, friend. As Locke is found in the jungle, Dev and Saucy are both here. Sinister trying to return some fire, but it probably will not be enough. But here comes Dove Soap. That's one. Gets ulted. That will be a kill. Dev now running for their life. Meanwhile, Killer is on this Drake. If this gets found out, it may be a bit of an issue. Dev is going to go down. The W does come out. The Drake does get taken. However, this will be 2 kills for the side of Scuffed Ratones.
So it's a dragon for 2 kills, and Saucy actually traded 1-for-1 with their jungler. So overall, I'd say it's quite Vire enemy favored, especially considering it's their second Drake and it's a Hextech Drake, one of the more useful ones. Killer keeps on getting stronger here. His CS lead has grown to 20 CS up. It's really nice to see here. And we have some fans of this Briar in chat here. Nekei, Minelli, and Bricoon seem to really like this Briar gameplay. Very nice to see the support. Hopefully we see more Briars in Malta, inspired by YOLO Swag Killer, bringing it to the table. Let's see. Next play up will be this Herald, but it's quite a far away. Before we can see it here. Sinister is sitting pretty at the moment, enjoying his very comfortable lead. He's a bit behind in CS, but overall 900 gold for Sinister. Confirmed there thanks to those 3 kills. I don't know, this game is looking a bit like the Averso game. And there's another gank onto Darkin. I mean, I wouldn't blame Darkin here for trying to find the trade. Who would have thought that he will get Malphite ulted into Briar ulted in less than a second, but that's exactly what just happened. That's another kill for YOLO Swag Killer. Meanwhile, Dev and Sint are caught fighting as the AD carries are both dueling their supports. Binas
Sint
gets
with
ulted.
these insane Bard ults every fight. Sinister escapes with just a sliver of HP. Meanwhile, here comes the Maokai ult. Will it reach? It does. Dev is now locked down, locked WQ. Sinister has to play a bit safe here. That E could be fatal.
Oh no.
But it is not.
If Sinister fell there, this would have been a bit rough, but he does manage to stay. I'm quite curious how he doesn't have a shutdown, but I'll allow Riot Games to decide that, not me, but yep. 4-1-3, ahead in gold, no shutdown, it is what it is. He's going the Black Cleaver route, which I don't think I agree with. It's not gonna benefit their team a whole lot, but it is the choice he is going towards. Let's see here. Oh, Saucy.
Saucy.
Very, very deeply engaged here.
However, that is 4 people of Scuffed Ratones. It's a good trade, but you have to be aware of where the enemy team is on the map. He will go down. Zambiru saying, hey, I just saw my mid laner get run over by 4 members. Let me play a bit safe here. As 4 people are here for this Herald, they do not want to let this objective go down. The Briar ult does in fact miss all 4 members as Dev tries to go in. Zambiru's ult gets flashed by Sinister. Now keep in mind, there is no Veigar this fight. That is a big set ult. This could be a huge swing for either team as YOLO Swag Killer does try to flash away, but you have Briar W on. You're gonna go right back in. Again, another fantastic Bard ult, keeping Zambiru out of the fight until it's his turn to get run down by the rest of Ratones. And Zambiru is trying his best here to not get caught out. The TP does come out. There is no way.
I thought he was dancing, sorry. Lalo, he started humping wolves and then he escaped. Alright. Wow, keep in mind their 3-2 Veigar was not there this fight. That's crazy. I think Scuffed Ratones are really making it work at the moment. The shutdown went into Darkin's pocket, which is a bit of a shame, but it is what it is.
Saucy's Q is lost, however, Dove Soap will most likely go down.
Finds the kill. He's been trying to do that for a while now. And there we go. Maokai MVP so far. Maokai W to dodge the Ash R was crazy. Lock with the shout out from Bikun. The jungler is really stepping up this event, to be honest. A lot of them doing God's work. Let's see. Ventus thinks it's looking pretty scuffed. I don't know. I think Scuffed Ratones are doing a fantastic job at bringing this back. Let's see. Iglos. Yes, Malphite would benefit Black Cleaver, it's true, but I would rather see Seth building it and Senna goes even more, but anyway. We'll see. How
To be fair, I do think the only pen item that Senna can buy is Black Cleaver. I don't think she can realistically build a different pen item.
Let's talk about Dragon. Oi.
As Dragon is started, this will be the 3rd Drake, but it does look like Scuffed Ratones will not let it go down without a fight. YOLO Swag Killer does not have his W's. A giant set ult slams Binas into Tomorrow. Dev is low, escapes with a sliver of HP. The Bard ult to try to kill him? I don't know. As Swag Killer will try to jump onto Dove Soap, but he will go down. That is 4 members for 2. And it will be 5 as Zambiru also go down. Ace for Ratones. They have brought this game back.
Damn, it looked really close there. YOLO Swag Killer seemed almost immortal. But I don't know what's going on. It just seems like Darkin's strength is team fights. I'm just noticing this now. He likes to fight. And so far it's going really well for him. Yep, Scuffed Ratones winning it on top. Sinister with excellent positioning there. Once again, Synth delivers proper Bard play. So far, I don't know. It's looking very Scuffed Ratones favored. Let's see. We have a shout out for Zambiru for most excellent. Hey, Zambiru, come on. He went Malphite to support his team, but it's not looking as such. Sinister has the perfect opportunity to prove me wrong in the podcast. Let's see. Spricone thinks he deserves a lesser rank. Let's see. So far, Sinister has been playing pretty well overall. Good CS, good positioning, good attacks. What's Zambiru doing? He thinks he's playing Mundo and can go where he pleases, huh?
As man, this Senna is a bit large if she's about to finish her Black Cleaver here. First Black Cleaver Senna, inherently strong due to the fact that her autos apply it twice. Because her passive counts as a ability on hit.
Let's see, so that's a 2-item Senna versus a 1-item Ashe as well. Good thing to note. Can YOLO Swag Killer save his team? Let's find out. Scuffed Ratones also have a ton of double items thanks to all those shutdowns. We do see Zamir going the full armor route, which means Dish Soap should have no trouble at all fighting him. Even Locke perhaps.
I do think if Vi Army managed to get a nice combo with their ultimates onto the backline of Ratones, they can very easily just run away with the fight. And especially securing this Atakan here. And hopefully maybe even another objective, I mean. These are the kind of things that will decide if they're going to get outscaled or not. As the game from this point on will be Vi's to lose, as it does look like Saucy will get caught out. Meanwhile, Zambiru is TPing into the waiting arms of Locke and Dove. Here comes Zambiru. The E from Dove Soap, a bit maybe overly safe. Choosing to do a more defensive one around himself. However, Locke has got him on lockdown. Here comes that Briar ult. It does land on Locke. Zambiru does ult. However, again, this Bard to delay the fight that is happening with Dove and Zambiru. Zambiru flashes in, trying to slap him, but here comes the set as the Briar will attempt to kill the Veigar. She does with the burn. Here comes the Set ult. Set ult does manage to kill Zambiru, but Sinister is in a bit of trouble. Darkin, this is all you. Sinister is here though. The W auto Q will actually kill the W from Darkin, and that will be a 4 for 3.
Damn, dude.
Numbers.
Sinister has crazy positioning. It's really being a big deal when it comes to these fights. He's managing to have a lot of uptime, dealing a lot of damage. And Set just isn't falling. He's staying up long enough. He's holding on. So yeah, overall, SR getting excellent opportunities here to carry this game. I don't know, it's looking a bit discombobulated. You know, they need to Fire Enemy need to tighten it up and sort of play a bit more as a team. Let's see.
Here comes the Briar ult. Will it hit Darkin? It does not.
Let's see. Alright, Dove Soap. What a name. Look at this. Oh no, Maokai is overstepping his boundaries here, flashing, ulting. Okay. Interesting. Very six-pack of him. Dove is getting ran over by a big mountain.
Zambiru did just run at him with ult. However, of course, the Veigar will just walk away. He does have 2 items that make him incredibly tanky. As Darkin is trying to defend this tower by himself. Will not be able to. Bit of a misrotation from the side of Ratones. He will end up giving that mid-tier 1. A Sinister. YOLO Swag Killer, you have been caught by Sint. What amazing Bard ults this game. He is trying his best, but this looks like it could be trouble as he will go down. Ooh, big Leon ult to disengage the fight. However, disengage or not, that is your jungler caught out, and that will most likely be an Atakan. Now keep in mind, Atakan Shred is crazy. It can remove 50 armor and damar from your entire team. And that is a Veigar who does have TP, but will he TP in time as the entire team, minus the jungle, is here? Atakan will be secured. Darkin is just absolutely annihilated. And Scuffed Ratones, you need to leave. Cut your losses. As here comes Dovsoap, trying to salvage what he can. Dev will get stunned. WQ from the Veigar will deal decent damage, but it does look like they will just need to give this up. It's not the worst. It's not the end of the world. 2 kills for Atakan. However, they do, of course, also lose a tower. And the Drake putting Vi on soul point. Bit of miscommunication there. I think maybe Dovsoap should have TP'd earlier. Should have been there to help with the inevitable engage from the side of Vi.
Yeah, it seems like
will
Fire
see.
and me are still within it. Still doing all the best that they can do. 1 dragon away from soul, and keep in mind that's more than likely the team that gets soul that wins the game. Let's YOLO swag make me proud with the Briar. Interesting build option here by the Ashe. Gonna be tough to get that damage across until her 4th or 5th item now.
I mean, does look like she's just going full utility. Like I said, it will be a bit difficult for the Ashe to deal any real damage here. The Baron is up. It is the only objective is up. Sinister has been caught out. The Ashe ult comes out. The Briar ult does not hit. Which is a bit of a shame.
It seems like Vire enemy trying that combination yet again, but Sinister quick on his cleanse. They're not considering it. Darkin and Zambiru are battling it out. Seems like
Darkin, you
is
are in a
losing
bit of
this.
trouble. You have no grit. You have no W, and you will go down.
Excellently spaced by Zambiru there. Sort of waiting for the grit to fall before ulting in.
And man, it is... Oof, it is a bit of a back and forth right now. 5 members up, opposed to the 4 members for Scuffed Ratones. Will Vi attempt a Baron?
This Baron will be the biggest difference, of course. What?
What? Oh, it does look like Dev was attempting to hit the ward. He followed the Baron. Happens to the best of us.
Yeah,
Cycler
he's
will...
got that attack move click with Leona, you know? It's
As Cycler will sweep and remove the ward. Saucy waiting, hoping that he can find someone. He does in fact find a sapling to his face. He's trying to get a flank on Sinister. A flash E ult would be crazy here. However, there is so much damage. And it does look like the Ashe ult that was meant to engage will just bait your enemy into Scuffed Ratones as Sinister will attempt to space it. Look at the Malphite. He has the ultimate. Will he use it? But he is just getting CC locked by huge ult. But it is too late. As Binas will try to kite, but he has no damage and he has no move speed, and he will get caught by a flash over from Locke. Clean ace for the side of Scuffed Ratones.
this is looking a bit decided now. Seems like Scuffed Ratones have came here fired up and ready to serve. And they are serving a victory. Oh,
Do not reference that song in front of me.
serving victories. Oh, are they
Serving
going for the
victories.
end? This is insane though, no?
This should just be, yeah, I was gonna say they can just end here.
Oh wow.
As it does look like this will be game 1 for the side of Scuffed Ratones.
Damn. Scuffed Ratones are not messing around, eh? Give them one.
I am a bit curious to see what happens. I don't think that was a Maokai issue or anything. I think, you know, we were talking about this a bit in the break. There's a fine line, right, where you need to play towards your comfort, but you also need to play towards the strength of your team. And I feel like they maybe need to draft comps where, you know, you're still playing towards comfort, but you have to have a little bit better cohesion, you know. have it make more sense as a group and against what you're playing.
The Evelyn
That
band
said,
always confuses me. I mean, I get that Locke is an Evelyn player, but I mean, as a team, you could maybe play around it a bit and sort of leave it open, but maybe I get they want to remove comfort. I guess not too much changes from the bans. We might still get Briar again. Let's see.
it does look like the exact same champions are being banned.
Yep. So we should see. What was it? Twitch. We're scared of Twitch. I'm scared more of Senna. Let's see.
It's me. As I'm curious what we're gonna pick first pick here. There's a few interesting champs. Trash. Okay.
Yes. Trash is Sid's preferred champion. I'm not sure behind the strategy of Scuffed Ratones picking support first picks. It has to do with the fact maybe they don't have a lot of picks in their pockets. But picking support first could drive you into getting counter picked. Seems like Vire and me are very comfortable with the Ashe, but now get a Braum, which I think is excellent. I think Ashe Braum is turbo strong, S plus tier, easy. Let's see what Scuffed Ratones answer here with Thresh. Is it Delusion, Jin maybe perhaps? Is it what other options we have? We have Zeri as well. Sinister likes to play Zeri. Do we go Senna again?
I fully believe that you pick the Smolder here. I think the Smolder makes sense, or you pick something to scale. You pick Jinx, you pick Severe.
We are picking Jin, and that's the last thing I have to say about it.
I do not know how I feel about picking Jin into Ashe Braum, but we are picking Jin into Ashe Braum, it seems like.
No, go back to your drafting. This is a Jin, my friend. We will get the fourth shot of Doom. Blocked by Braum.
The fourth shot of Doom.
No, I get it. I think there's a lot going for Vire enemies support here to block a lot of what Jin wants to do. And there's another Maokai pick, so it does seem like Scuffed Ratones are sort of sticking as well a bit to their guns. This is what typically you get to see when it's not a fearless draft. As we
Again, I don't know how I feel about the Maokai, because you're playing Maokai in a completely different context here. You no longer have your Senna and your Bard. Now you have a Jin Trash. These are champions who, to be blunt, want to play picks, right? They want to try to get a hook in, they want to try to get a W in from Jin. And so playing a Maokai here, realistically, you can't really play with them, right? We do have Nocturne locked in here. I think Nocturne is a fantastic choice for the side of Fire Enemy. I think it makes a lot of sense. Again, I think you mentioned it being like one of those champions where you can sort of just like pick up and play. They're very simple, they're very direct, and that is what Fire Enemy needs here. When you have a comp against you that's kind of like lacking clear cohesion, if you play these champions who kind of just like lock together very simply, you have Ashe, you have Braum, and then what happens after Ashe and Braum try to go in? You just Nocturne out in. It's these champions which very simply just effectively go in, they do their job, they lock in, and they make a lot of sense together. I think that's the correct way to sort of like draft it. As Fizz is banned out, are we afraid of the saucy Fizz?
Let me at him. All right. My bad. Nocturne can also sort of turn off the lights, and Ashe can just shoot the ultimate with a bit more ease, perhaps. But I do see a glaring issue right now with Fire Enemy. Their team is very pre 15 minutes so far. Like after 15 minutes, it's gonna be rough. I don't know how Nocturne plays with all that disengage that Thresh and Maokai have to offer, unless Jin is literally on his own. We'll have to see, of course, what mid lane picks they go for. Fire Enemy could potentially play something like Azir, something like.
I think, strangely enough, Annie makes the most sense here from the comp that I've been saying. I think Annie just makes a lot of sense here. I know that sounds strange.
No,
Echo, you can also play.
They don't.
You
play
could
Echo,
also
but-
play Echo here.
Yeah,
I know you don't play Echo. Just
Whoa.
on spitballing.
The Galio.
Okay.
Is this?
I think you may have well just picked Diana again if you're gonna go for Galio, but it makes sense. I see the idea.
They want to go all in onto Sinister. This is their plan here. He had a very good KDA in the last game. They're like, you know what? He deserved to die more than once. And we're gonna go all guys racing.
I see what they're going for. I think Diana here would have made a bit more sense. Nocturne turns out the lights, Ashe shoots an arrow, and Diana kind of flanks from the side, but I do see the vision. I do see what they're trying to go for here. As Ahri is picked up, and man, I mean, Let me think about that actually for a second. Ari. Does Ari make sense here?
Yes, of
I
course. Of course it makes sense. This is an excellent pick comp. Just before an objective. This is how you play it. It's really good.
Fair enough.
And
Fair
Renekton.
enough.
Yeah,
Just basics.
this is Scuffed Ratons.
Okay.
I don't know who's making their drafts, man. I swear. Like, I don't know if they're going into professional teams and just literally copy pasting what they're picking or something. My man, like, this is like a traditional early game.
I'd like to see the Vayne here. I want to see the Zambiru Vayne. Like, unironically,
yeah,
pick Zambiru Vayne here.
they need something. Yeah.
I think they need the Zambiru Vayne.
Is
You
it
can also
good
go
into
like
Renekton?
an Alawi or like a Mordekaiser, but I think you need the Vayne. It's not horrible. It's not unplayable. If you space correctly and you save your
There
E.
it is.
There it is. Okay.
Ye asked and ye shall receive it, Mr. Nano.
Not many people know this. You should max E second on Vayne to reduce the cooldown, and this is a matchup where you really need it. I'm not even kidding.
Don't look comments. First comment from Haida Waffle. مجنون الزامبيرو. Alright. Mela, let's see. Alright, they need a toilet break here. Toilet time. Go, guys. When ready, start. No worries.
I think the Vayne just makes sense here. I think you need damage. You have Ashe, you have Nocturne, you have Galio, you have a lot of setup and engage, you need damage. That's all you need. Vayne is one of those champions which I think is like... She's such in a weird spot right now that a lot of people kind of misunderstand how you're supposed to play and build her. People still build on hit, people still go lethal tempo, people still max W. Second, when the champion pretty much just exists to pump out Qs and use her alt buff that gives her AD. Realistically, you should just go like static Trinity and then just build generic AD items. I know Drutut has been going a lot of what's it called? What's the AD Banshee's Veil called? The one that gives lethality? Edge of Night. That's the one.
Yes, sir.
Right, so I know Drutut does a lot of Edge at Night. I know what's the one guy who like religiously plays range top Vayne. I keep forgetting. But I know he's been going the Kraken Slayer third, which is a bit of an interesting choice, but I think it does kind of make sense as well with the auto resets on Q. So there's a lot of ways you can play her, but what's most important is the champion no longer functions as a W sort of like user. You know, she's not an on-hit champion. And so I am curious how Zambiru is going to build her. I'm assuming he knows, what he's doing. My guess is we'll just see like static ship Trinity Force and just a bunch of damage. And that is entirely what your comp needs right now, right? So you have Ashe,
Yes.
which can like help pick with Nocturne. You have
agree.
Galio, who can like jump in. You have Brom, who can like start setting up and like blocking a lot of the picks from the side of Scuffed Ratones. And then if you have this Vayne who just does this like big bursty chunky damage with the Trinity, with the static, with the empowered alt Q, right? I think they have a fantastic comp, and yeah, I see what Scuffed Ratones is trying to draft, but I think Fire Enemy I feel like they learned their lesson from last draft, and now they're picking comfort, but they're picking comfort in a way that just responds to the enemy team, They picked Trash, okay, we're picking Ash Brom. They picked Jin Maokai, no problem, we're picking Maokai. We go Galio so that our team makes a bit more sense cohesively. They picked Ari Renekton, they don't really have damage outside of pick, no problem, we're picking Vayne.
Yep, I fully agree with you, Nano. I think the Vayne makes sense. Of course, in a perfect world, this would have been Gwen, but regardless, I think Vayne makes sense for either Rumble or something along that lines that brings like good, sustainable damage to the table. Now, Scuffed Ratons, they have the tools to take over a game and win it. Outright win it without contest, okay? They have excellent single target control, good burst damage, and that's just what you need to get leads, to then take the objectives, and then with that amount of gold you just snowball crazily, regardless that you don't have too much AoE or that kind of stuff. So with that said, if Fire Enemy get some really great counter ganks, sort of do what Scuffed Ratons did the last game and sort of get a lot of shutdowns and return that favor, I think Ashe Vayne with a Brom, Nocturne, Galio all in front of them are gonna wreak havoc against Scuffed Ratons. Ari cannot go too much deep against Vayne because she will get taunted and then stunned and etc. Renekton, similar story. Maokai ult could go, but we have a Brom shield. And of course, so, you know, what can Jin do? What can Thresh do at their ranges? So yeah, I tend to agree with you. We have another good matchup here on our hands. Last game, it was very nice play, sort of, where Scuffed Ratones fell behind early and then won the game, but through team fighting. Let's see if Fire Enemy sort of learned through their mistakes. We see a lot of difference in picks here. Zambiro with an aggressive top lane this time instead of a tank. We also see Saucy going towards that Galio instead of Diana. I mean, kind of similar, but this one is a bit more supportive of the jungle. He had a lot of solo plays before, and now he's going to be playing more for that team orientation. While the Nocturne pick over Briar, it's kind of the same champion, let's be real. But Nocturne is a lot easier to execute because you just click on a champion and you get it. Plus that invisible, the darkness. It's pretty OP.
Darkness.
It's a really OP skill that many people aren't considering, perhaps when playing Nocturne. They're thinking only of the aspect that you can click on someone, you jump on him. But let's say you're playing Nocturne into a team fighting scenario. If you see the first person to engage on the enemy team engaging, you just hit your R ability. The rest of the opponents cannot even see what's going on to engage on top of it. So it's like really, really strong in that regard against the heavy engage comps. Let's see what.
Yeah, I agree.
happens,
And again, especially when you have this like comp where like Ari, Thresh, or Jin are going to be trying to do a pick, and that Maokai and Renekton are going to try to follow it up to run them over. If the second they try to get a pick, or the second they get a pick, Nocturne just pulls the curtains and turns off the lights, engages on your back line, followed by a Galio ult, followed by a Braum and a Vayne re-engaging onto you. I mean, it's going to be lights out, quite literally, for Scuffed Ratones. I will also say this. There is a non-zero chance that if Scuffed Ratones manage to get a lead in the first 2, maybe 3, probably 2 backs, I think they are stronger as a comp before like you start to build those first few components. I think past that, I'm pretty sure at all points of the game after that, Fire Enemy are just stronger. But there's a like very early on, I think they have a chance to be like stupidly strong. We might see like a crazy, who knows, maybe a nice pick from Ari, a very nice Thresh hook, you know. Maybe a 2-man Q from Maokai. You never know. So I'm curious to see what happens at the beginning.
If I was Fire Enemy, not joke, I just stand in the river bush until 1 minute 10, late invade the red side with Ash, Braum, Nocturne, everything, and that's it, bro. I say, Scuffed Ratones, you have a good early game. Let me show you good early game. Ladies and gentlemen, so give it up
And
for
here they are.
Ek malaya. Hype ya naqra miegħi. Fire Enemy gone for that level 1 invade. This is taking play out of a very old team called Horizon. They used to run Ash, Braum and invade level 1 every single game. And it's gonna work out as Sint could be found here. He gets tagged by the Braum Q, the flash from Sint, and that's an excellent level 1 play from Fire Enemy.
When in doubt, run into Tribush.
This is for you, Fire Enemy, playing Briar, playing that level 1 invade. This feels like Christmas. Alright.
You know, I remember there was once a team which Zambiro had who did that exact play and it went to shit. Not sure if you remember it. I think it had the word toast in it. And now he's doing it and it looks like it worked out pretty damn well for him. So I imagine he's pleased with himself. Personally, I'm not too pleased with the little tempo. That said, either way, like iGloss is typing in chat here, top lane will be torture. If I may, it will be croc and ball torture. So we'll see how this goes. I imagine this should be like, provided a Vayne spaces correctly, such a difficult lane for Renekton. Like, honestly, such a difficult lane. Like, he has to use his E's really well. And, you know, if we see Zom maxing that E second, reducing its cooldown, I mean, like, past level, like 9, it's just going to be so hard for this Renekton to ever get on top of this Vayne.
Yeah, for sure.
So again,
it needs, but once he's on top of her, perhaps through a gank with lock on top as well to secure it, it's gonna be rough for Zambiro if he doesn't have summoners. Let's see. Oh, get into an exchange here. They are level 2. Scuffed Ratones do hit it. Def and Binas I sort of
And
won't
man, it
pursue
is
yet.
these infinite slows. That is a flash distrash, keep in mind. Dev going a bit too deep will also die. I think the kill was secured there. Maybe a little bit overzealousness from Dev will go down as well, but you do like to see them still winning, even in this early game where arguably they should technically be mildly behind just through champs. As Bingus does have to pop his barrier. Bit risky. It does look like he will be fine. Sam already with his first recall, getting that dagger, getting control ward. And Saucy is dealing some humongous damage. Would like to point out small thing, Saucy going the aftershock here. So it does look like he does agree he's not going to be the one engaging these fights. He is going to be following up on YOLO Swag Killer's ult. A Synth, you are trying to roam, but you've been caught out. And keep in mind, this trash still doesn't have flash.
Oh no, Synth
Flash
will
W.
be in trouble here. YOLO Swag
Saucy.
Killer. There's the flash from Saucy. It connects with Synth. Synth doesn't
Keep
have
in mind,
flash.
he has no mana. That is 2 flashes. Synth will kill. I mean, will be killed by YOLO Swag Killer, but they may have gone a bit too deep and they will lose the feats of war. Maybe a bit of overzealousness here from the side of... Oof, man. Sorry. Something stuck in my throat. Maybe from the side of Fire Enemy. Maybe a bit of overzealousness. Or they're looking to get an advantage early and... Calm down, guys. You don't need to. do a few backs and then you can start doing this. As it does look like we have, generally speaking, the Croc and Ball torture happening top lane, and I mean it is so much pain for Darkin. Zambiru does activate that ghost, and it doesn't even matter if he kills him here because it's just so much. I think he could have killed him there. I actually think after that E, Q auto and auto again, then flash out. But he will play it safe. As it does look like Locke is going to meet Specular here on this scuttle. Of course, he cannot walk up as his top laner is begging to be let out. The camera going crazy here, so much action going on. First top, then mid, then top again, then mid, now bot.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a bloodbath so far. Like, everyone's fighting for it. Everyone wants to win, I mean, honestly. I know SR got really upset not winning anything, and I do understand them. I think they deserved better for how they played overall. Same thing I would assume with Fire Enemy. I mean, they came in expecting maybe a better position, and both of them are sort of, it's even just a case of a pride thing. Can we really seriously not win it? So, at least I hope whichever one of them falls, they respect that both of them were fighting valiantly for this victory. To get to the XP Arcade Finals on Saturday. Let's go. Alright, some marketing.
Marketing. Go watch a movie after or before.
We're gonna play bowling, guys. After the best of fives.
Bowling?
Alright? Yes, we'll do a bowling and drink chisk. Alright.
Watch Jansen show off how well he can throw.
Voilà. Especially if my bot lane are 0-6 before my first clear.
Well, that's how I score a what's it called, a strike. I just imagine my bot lane 0-6 and I throw the game. I'm in the ball. Okay, camera. Pick a lane. Pick a lane.
YOLO
You do
Spectre actually dropped Dragon for this. Synth does have flash at this point, but this could be a
Unsure about-
really scary position for Fire Enemy. They seem to overstep again as Locke
It's
comes
not
in.
a very nice exhaust. Very nice response as a exhaust, and that will be 1 kill. The Galio ult will come in. It may be enough to kill Locke, but not before 2 more members of Vi will go down.
Wow, it's a bit insane, man, to see what's going on. I think once again, Sinister just keeps playing like above his league, honestly, patiently waiting on both the exhaust and on his flash to sort of bait in Fire Enemy even further. It's looking really nice so far. Let's see. I heard Jansen sucks at darts. I saw it, I didn't hear it. Let's see, bowling. Oi, oi, oi. Yes, yes, when I get a strike. It's gonna be every single ball I throw. Yeah, guys, let's see. Let's just lock in as both sides here want the victory. But it's looking very Scuffed Ratones at the moment. Lock and Sinister leagues above the rest in this event. Sorry, in this match. But they've been playing very consistent. A nice jungle AD carry combination.
And I'm just gonna do it. Shout out for Sint. Honestly, like, look, you know me. I do tend to maybe favor solo lanes a tiny bit, but man, you have to respect. He is on point always. Those bards us last game, his rotations this game, like he's just there. As here comes this Nocturnal. This is what we were talking about. There is an engage, but this blind is very annoying, and it will actually make it so that they cannot help lock. They do still, of course, secure 2 of the grubs, which means that they will get the feat of strength, because that is how it works now. I learned that out. I learned that I think like a week ago. Yes, if you do get the majority, you do get the feat of strength. Man, I mean, it's a bit scary again. Sinister is dragging Los Ratones across that finish line, pretty much in a lot of games. Like you said, I mean, his positioning is incredibly good. His understanding of the champs he plays is also very nice. Zambiru, though, once again continuing the croc and ball torture in the top lane.
Croc and ball.
Croc and ball.
Nice. Alright, let's see it here. This could be a fight for the bot lane. Sinister gets half healthed. He does have to use cleanse.
Sinister,
there comes the knockup.
You
He's
are
falling
in
very
a
low.
bit of danger.
Dev seems to accidentally take that kill, which is kind of big, to be honest. And this does allow for Fire enemy secure this dragon, perhaps. Oh, Sint goes
Oh
back.
no, Dev! Wait a second. Bingus will get auto by the trash.
Menace.
There's a Galio TP. I do think it is a tad bit wasted. I'm pretty sure this fight is already over.
Seems like Scuffed Ratones managed to stop the dragon play. Does YOLO Swag Killer go for it again? Is the question. And does seem like it's the case. Zambiru
Very nicely
having
from Zambiru.
Yeah, having a pretty
This
good
very
time
well
in the top
could
lane.
be a kill if he plays it correctly.
Oh!
Just barely not.
Big damage from Zambiru.
I think he should have popped his ultimate there. I'm pretty sure he would have killed him. As the Jhin will attempt to get a Drake, but it will not be successful. Look, the gold lead is not that large. The scariest thing here is that 3-1 Jhin. But if I'm being completely honest, I mean, you have a Renekton who is at best a tiny bit behind. But if you know Renekton, I mean, this is not a champion that realistically scales. Yes, you have your ult, which is surprisingly good late game, as Locke will try to jump on Zambiru. Very nice flash, last second from Zambiru, escaping the queue and not going down to Locke.
Yep, so far so good. We see Zambiru holding that top lane very carefully with his kill there. Oi, oi, oi. Zambiru will be a menace later this game, eh? Be careful. Oi, oi, oi. Now let's see. Now the question is, do Scuffed Ratones have the lockdown to lock down a Vayne? And I think yes, thanks to Maokai, but also potentially not the greatest. But let's see how it goes later on. Darkin faces Saucy. There's another engage here by Dev, as Benas is trying to pelt away at Sint. I don't think much will happen from this, but it is a scuffle between both laners. Both teams showing a lot of teeth and sort of trying to get something going, as we see Duff Soap roaming in, Benas falling low, the flash is out, there's the last Ari ult, and Benas is on, the last 100 health, he does fall, and there goes Dev as well. That's a 2 kill for Sinister, for Sinister and for Sid. Scuffed Ratones with double kill. There's the Nocturnal.
Are we going in here?
Where
We're
is he
going
going?
in here.
This seems like a bit of an overforced play by YOLO, Swag and Saucy. They go in 2v5. So far no one falls. Sint is very close to. There's a flash. YOLO Swag does snipe The kill onto Sin. There's the curtain call. Sinister finish off YOLO's fag. Now Sossi's in trouble. And Sossi also falls off to Duff's Sop. Another 2-for-1 exchange in favor of Scuffed Ratones. Ooh, Zombie wondering what's up with his team. They're really trying these desperation saves and plays. But it's not working out overall.
Yeah, I mean, it is also a bit odd, you know, it is a bit odd forcing these plays when realistically, I mean, it's team fights where this comp is going to shine, right? You have the Galio, you have the Ashe, you have the Nocturne, so it is a bit strange that we're like forcing so hard in this laning phase. That said, at the same time, it is a bit of a shame to see Zambiru going with the Lethal Tempo, going with the Bork over something more like the Static Trinity. It means he will be most likely maxing W second, so man, I don't think he's gonna have enough of that punch, which I think his team needs, but we'll see exactly what happens. He is playing the lane quite well. But yeah, we'll see exactly what happens, as we do see the Nocturne is spotted out by Darkin. Man, it's a bit of a shame. I think they are over forcing bot lane here. I think maybe they should have recognized that, hey, this Ashe and this Braum, they're more, to be blunt, supports. They're not really here to be the stars of the show this game. I think it does have to be this Nocturne, does have to be this Vayne. And so it is a bit sad to see that we seem to be forcing all of this pressure down bot. Platings will go down. Feats of strength have not been claimed yet, although they are close. First tower, of course, will make it so that it goes towards Scuffed Ratones. As a ult does come out from Binas. Sinister will get stunned on the landing of his lantern, and that will be a kill onto the Ashe, and that is a bot lane gank the way you want to do it. Very nice. Layering the CC there. As Saucy. Very aggressive, very in Duff Soap's face.
Man, what's going on here? It does seem like Vire enemies still have it within them to fight on, as they've been showing for both games here. See Hextech Drake getting pinged at the moment, so they are looking for it.
Work finished for the Vayne. There is a Drake up. They can attempt to get the second objective, but Benas, you are caught out. You are checking that Tribush without your support. However, will you instead counter catch your jungler because your trash is not here? No, it doesn't look like much will happen. Unless a very nice hook from Sint. Man, this guy is on point. As Dev will also go down, and this is looking like another fight that will just go in the favor of Scuffed Ratones.
Oh, look at Zambiro here, pushing the advantage. What a play on duality here, as the remainder of his team gets wiped in the bot side. Zambiro's pushing past both turrets there on his Vayne, almost taking down Darkin as well. It's looking really good for Scuffed Ratones at the moment.
Man, it is a bit sad to see. I'm not gonna lie to you. As first tower will be taken. It is currently 2-1 objectives, so if they very choose to, Ratones can go take this Herald and secure their feats. That is a 7-2 Jhin, man. It is. Oof, I don't wanna say it's over, man, but like it's so difficult now to try to deal with a 7-2 Jhin. You may scale better, but not if your enemy has 7 times 300 gold. How much would that be? 2,100 gold. Man, that's basically an item. Yeah, I mean it's hard. It is really hard. They have basically paid for this Jin's rapid fire cannon through their mistakes. As Sinister, I mean, he just basically has to sit back now. He's already ahead. He can get his 3-item spike and probably just take over this game. We'll see what happens though. It might be the case that we can get another catch onto him like we did see bot lane with the Assault into the Braum, into the Nocturne, so I'm not going to say this game is entirely Scuffed Ratones just yet. Zambiru 1v5, I believe. I hope so too, Brickon. It's still Jin versus Nocturne Galio, then if they true. True. Starkin will take a bit of chunk of damage.
Oh no,
Here
they're now focusing on
comes Lock.
Zambiru.
However, here comes the Nocturne, and that is a kill onto Zambiru, and Zambiru is getting quite dangerous. I'm not gonna lie, the 140 CS, the 2 kills there. It's not 7 kills, but you know, it's something, as Darkin may also be caught out here. And that will be a kill onto the Nocturne, which is what you want to see. I'm hoping this Nocturne builds more tank, to be blunt. I really hope he doesn't go straight damage. It does look like he will just be going Bruiser here. I think that's the... what's that item called? With the health and the ultimate attack speed.
Experimental.
Does look like
Hexblade, yeah.
experimental hexblade, that's the one. Which is, you do hope to see. Does hope this uses out here. A bit scared of getting chunked by Saucy. Saucy though in return actually getting chunked. But yeah, I mean, it is something you would prefer to see here. I do hope he builds more tanky here as opposed to more damage. I feel like that Vayne should be enough. And realistically, you do need to be able to stick on them and be a menace. Manage to get your E off. As Sinister, you are in a bit of Dane. No, you're not. No, you're not. I thought Nocturne was up by now. This does look like... Synth! Man, these hooks are on point. Curtain call does come up. Whoa, Bill! My god, Synth! This guy is MVP. I don't know what else to say.
Nice playing
Wow.
exceptionally this game, of course, with those snipes and perfect positioning so far. But let's see if Zambiru can make a difference. Here comes YOLO's fag. Synth is on the side there. Zambiru is getting focused by a lot of things. But here comes the remainder of Fire enemy. Zambiru still alive, still kicking, still dodging. Shut down onto Sinister. Zambiru still alive, guys. Triple kill for Saucy. And that's how Zambiru does it. You can't let him have Vayne, guys. This is what happens. No pressure onto Zambiru. And he's currently destroying Scuffed Ratones every time he shows up.
And now Atakan may very well be taken by Fire enemy. It does seem like it will fall to the Nocturne. I mean, this is where the game should start turning towards Vi. You have completely come back in gold. I see the gold is completely matched, 36.2k. Of course, you have to keep in mind where this gold is allocated, and at the end of the day, this is what I was trying to say with this Renekton. That's a 0-2 Renekton. That is a Renekton who is behind versus a Vayne in the side lane. This champion is, I'm gonna be completely honest with you, absolutely fucking useless. This champion cannot play the game now. So it's gonna be very hard, I'd imagine, from the side of Scuffed Ratones to... I mean, they have to essentially 4v5, which you can do when you have a fed Jhin. But like Raccoon was saying, I mean, you have a Galio and a Nocturne against you. With the Assault as well, with the fact that you can't realistically catch the carry of the side of Fire enemy, being that Vayne, who's so slippery. Again, it is a bit of a shame seeing the on-hit build for Vayne. You would have prepared just straight raw AD damage here, with maybe an EMAX second here, just so he can make sure he's safe as much as possible. That said, shouldn't matter too much, as I think the champion just fits the comp very nicely. I think Vayne's one of those champions which may be a tiny bit sleeper in the top lane. As yeah, this will be a Drake onto the side of Vi, and I mean, they are getting larger and larger here. Vayne may be a bit in a precarious position here. Oh, never mind, he's riding the Herald. And he is running it down mid lane. It looks like... Does Herald get another charge here or no? Does that know how it works? Well, we won't know, as Shelly has been taken down. Goodbye, Shelly, in the chat. does look like. Dove Soap,
Somebody
ooh!
going to Dove Soap.
Ashall jump scare.
Not a very clear winner, is it? Very clear, equal golds as well. But maybe.
It's a very close
Oh.
game. Stin! Holy shit, man! This guy is so good, man. No. I'm not. I'm showing like really clear bias here, but how can you not, man? Oh, this guy is mechanically insane on every champ he plays, or what?
Yeah, great going there. Blocking the escape route of Saucy, and it does take him down. No objective at the current moment. Baron will be a big turning point for this game. Let's see if Scuffed
Jhin has
can run
finished.
away with it like the last one.
I'll say one thing. Scuffed Ratones can look for a fight here. Jhin has finished his Infinity Edge. He is hugely ahead. I think he can deal easily the most damage this game, provided they can peel this Galio and this Nocturne off of him, which is, I mean, no easy task. That is what they need to manage to accomplish if they want to win a fight right now, and it will make a big difference if they can start getting map control right now. Of course, it is 24 minutes, which means that the Baron will be spawning in a minute. Some good wards, some decent map control here, getting the waves in the right place. It could be the difference between them getting Baron and ending up snowballing and winning the game, or maybe them lagging a tiny bit behind and falling behind via enemy's comp. We will see though, we will see. It does look like nothing will happen for now. We do seem to be in a bit of a stalemate. I would have liked to see Scuffed Ratones almost try to force something here. Maybe on a timer, which they know that's gonna happen, from maybe a back from the Nocturne. Or maybe seeing this Galio here in the side lane. Maybe even like faking an engage, just so they can bait out their Galio ult. It's a bit dangerous though, as it does look like they have found the Nocturne. The Galio ult does come out, and this is the fight I was talking about, but it does not seem like the fight that they want. However, they have peeled, it does seem like the Nocturne off, but here comes Zambiru on the side. Ooh. Three-man fight in their jungle, maybe not the play.
Yeah, I mean, this kind of comp Scuffed Ratones had kind of needs a certain level of tempo to play, and they need to keep winning and sort of not let out any kills, and it's happened a couple of times now. So Zombie Hero is scaling now on his second item, almost third. Everyone's hitting those critical item spikes. If Sinister falls, there's little that Scuffed Ratones can return back in terms of damage. Wow, guys, this could be a via your enemy angle. Let's see.
This could be a via enemy angle, which means we may be going to game 3. I'm not gonna complain about the game 3. I do unironically think though this is professional, like organized league at its finest. When you have these two teams, which irrespective of like skill level for both of them, they are evenly matched, or like somewhat evenly matched, and you just get these like really like back and forth close games. I think it makes the game so much fun to just kind of watch and enjoy. As Dev here in a bit of a pickle. I am impressed that Jhin W didn't hit him. I think so is Locke, as he did in fact ult. Maybe assuming that they just didn't see the W'd Jhin. I mean the W'd Braum. Drake is up in 10 seconds. Does look like Scuffed Ratones do not want this to fall. That is an TP-less Ahri though, I will say that much, which is, this could very well be a bit of a misplay from the side of Dovesop. I think you would have rather have let this shit to fall down, because this will be a very important fight for you, which if they do win, Vi will not just walk away with 2 kills, but also the dragon. Maybe a bit of a misplay, I think.
Well, which is very strong.
Maybe a bit of a misplay. I think losing that tier 2 there would have maybe been beneficial. Or like the lesser of the 2 bad options here. As it does look like Fire Enemy will not just get that Mountain Soul and the Mountain Soul point
and those 2 kills, but will also get a mid tower of their own. Very well could also result in the second tier 2 there in the bot lane with Zambiru. As Benas is playing very dangerous. Sin comes back in, ease in, and Saucy now is also caught out. Nice Q from Sint. And bro, this guy is correct. I don't know what else to say. I really don't know what else to say. Of course, there, however, in the bot lane, Zambiru has taken another tower. My pickums are alive, screams Eyeglass.
That's looking really good overall so far for Scuffed Ratones. They're still managing to actually keep the game going, which I thought could potentially be their downfall. But Zambiru yet to fall, and he does now have Terminus with double Mountain Drake on top, so it's going to be even tougher to sort of take him down.
Also looks like he will be rounding off the build with a Jack Show for it. Not a lot of damage coming off from this vein.
Let's see. Bit of back and forth here. 30 minutes, huh? 30 minutes of action so far.
30-minute game.
12 foraging and you can't secure it, huh? Oi, oi, oi.
Ui ui.
Let's see.
It is a bit difficult. Keep in mind, Scuffed Ratones is practically playing this game 4v5. Again, it's why I'm not too big of a fan of champs like the Renekton. However, we do see an engage here from Zambiru. The ghost does come out. The Q is attempting him to keep alive. He will use bot sums just to make sure he does not die. He does not want to go over the shutdown. Sint possibly in a bit of a tricky situation. The Jin ult will come out. Zambiru, you need to turn on your fancy feet and dance. Here comes the Renekton.
Oh, this is a really good fight for Scuffed Ratones.
Is it though? Is it though?
Pushing their lead a bit too much.
Yes, it is.
Shutdowns across the board. Saucy
Wait a
falling
second.
low. Half health.
No way.
And that's a clean wipe and ace from the Scuffed Ratones. Seems like
What?
Fire Enemy's biggest problem is overstaying their welcome. It's really holding them back at the moment. And that's an incredible, well played moment there, especially with Darkin coming in late there, keeping them alive. Holy schmoly.
And man, it's these re-engages on their what seemingly are decent escapes. It's really costing Fire Enemy quite a lot. As the gold, I mean, swings back into this sort of like neutral state. Man. Yeah, maybe don't fight with 5 Vayne at 300 HP. True. True. Does seem like they will not lose at least any objectives outside of that mid tier 2. Galio will walk top, he does have TP. As this Drake will spawn in 30 seconds. Dev will attempt to get some vision on this Drake. This will be solved for them if they secure it. Dev, however, is in a bit of a tricky situation. Man! Lollipopping the Q. It barely reaching. What the? Okay! I didn't even see the AD carry there, and he catches him again. Come on, man. Tell me he's not MVP this series. Tell me he's not MVP. Wow. And that is going to stop Vi from getting that soul point.
Yep, Zambiru needs to strategize with his team, needs to get them to slow down. If they overstayed here, that would have been Baron and potentially the game. So Fire Enemy are trying to delay and maximize the odds here.
Yeah, I think they've now you know, from bringing it back, I think Vi have placed themselves in a very difficult position now. Bairn will most likely go down, provided we don't see a 4v3 play that somehow goes in their favor. And of course, not the easiest objective to take down, although you do have Liandry's on your Maokai. The Ash ult will land the... Ooh! Ooh, okay. That Vayne getting caught out there may have almost cost the game for Vi. As I think that this is an oversave, I'm being completely honest. Very nice condemn, removing them from the trash W.
Zambiru going the full Jack Shaw build as well. With those Mountain Dragons, with Terminus, this is gonna be a very tanky Vayne. Let's see this fight. This could be the end of the game though. Let's see. Oh, Duff Soap
That is
does
a
catch
charm that has been
Zambiru.
landed. Darkin, where are you going?
Oh, this is a bit of a scattered fight across the board though. Scuffed were not ready for this. Maybe a bit overconfident after winning the last place. There's the Jin W. Here comes Sinister. The curtains have been called. Not too much damage across the board, if I have to say.
I wonder if that would have killed. I doubt it.
Zambiru is like
What do
really
you want?
tanky. We need combined efforts and maybe finding a pick to make this work. Jin at the moment has GA as well. He's really well protected. Oi, oi, oi.
Oi, oi, oi. Indeed.
Let's
This man
see,
70 kills on this Jin and they still cannot find a way to end it.
So, at the current stage now, who do you think will win it? Are you favoring Vi or enemy?
I cannot favor a side. I'm being completely honest with you. It's it's the league special. It's whoever team throws first. I hate to admit it, but if let's put it in a positive light. If Scuffed Ratones are able to do a nice pick onto Zambiru or onto let's say two other members of Vi or enemy, I think Scuffed Ratones can win. If Vi or enemy are able to play the team fight correctly, you know, they try to bait in, like pull in Scuffed Ratones to a slightly scattered fight. The Nocturne dives their backline, the Galio follows, and then you have the Ash and the Vayne who just slowly, I should say actually quite quickly, melt the front line of Scuffed Ratones. I think they can win also. It's definitely harder for Scuffed Ratones to win. It is definitely not impossible for them to win. So I think it's a close game. I think we'll have to see exactly who will step up and play to their win con. Or maybe play not to their win con and throw the game. Who knows? That's why we love League. Next objective here will be that soul. 1 minute. Synth. Look, win or lose. I mean, I hope we see a game 3. I want to see more. I am glazing Synth. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm genuinely impressed. The man is playing. Look, Sinister has almost perfect positioning. He's fed practically every game I've seen him play. Maybe I'm just impressed by a support player. That's what they're doing. My bad. As it does look like Saucy. Does almost get caught out there. Charm does not connect. Locke is actually looking for something here. The ultimate does come out. Dev will block it. The E does come out. However, that will be the charm. And Dev, I think, will go down here. Ultimate will come down to try to hopefully stall. However, that is a flash W from Locke. And this is exactly what I was talking about. Ratones have found a pick. And then they found two. The Jin ult is slowing. Flash Q from Synth. An E onto both of them, man. How can you not love this guy? As he will most likely go down to that tower. No, he'll go down to Zambiru. As Zambiru is here, he will get 1, he will get 2. Will he get 3? The GA on Jin has been popped. Locke will die. He is invisible. He will get 4. Will this be a penta onto Zambiru's Vayne? He is playing a bit with fire here. However, he does still have his ult active.
This is just
That
what we
is the
wanted
Q.
to
That
see.
is the...
Does he get it?
No, I don't think he will.
That's
Still,
another Mountain
in a-
Drake and Soul for Zambiru though. With this really tanky build. Crazy guys. How is Zambiru doing it? Oi oi oi. Man. Must suck to be Scuffed Ratones at the moment. We left Zambiru alone and look what he's doing now. That's why you don't leave Vayne against Zambiru. They are learning.
Especially into a comp where the Vayne can just sort of flourish. I will say I do think, like kind of rethinking the draft. I do actually think it was a maybe small bit of a troll picking the Maokai here. If I really think about it, I think unironically that was the issue, but we'll maybe go into that another time as the game is still going on. Next objective will be this bear in 20 seconds. Sint will set up some vision. It is a tad scary though. This guy's aimbot on. Nice little ward there. Does get vision on that section of the jungle. The entire topside jungle entrance has vision. The Ash ult goes wide. I think I just saw it head over my house as Sint has caught Zambiru. However, that is a Vayne with GA and the Jack Show. And the GA will not even be popped. Darkin is trying to at least pop the GA. He will get the GA popped, but it is not enough and it is a little bit too late. You've already lost 2 members here. Sinister is trying to deal as much damage as a Jhin can do, but it is simply not enough. Locke will attempt to get out. The Condemn actually helping him get out, but this will be a Baron as the curtain call does come up. Maybe not in the right spot here. Maybe he should have saved it, trying to seal this Baron. Man, this Baron is melting with that Vayne W and the Ash. It just disappears, and that is Baron for Vire enemy. It is... Ooh, what a game. What a game. I honestly think this far into the game...
I am muted, wasn't I? Fucking hell. I'm sorry.
Yep, you were muted.
Ay, ay, ay. Alright, sorry guys. I apologize. I've done this a bit too many times. But thank you, Nano, for carrying me through that. I'm trying to say that maybe now that GA is down, if Scuffed Ratones can catch Zambiru again and actually pop him this time, maybe that could lead to a big push into a win. But as it stands, 1 engage away could be that Vire enemy win the game here. There's an engage onto Sinister and Sinister goes down. That's the main damage threat from Scuffed Ratones. And Baron is
Calling
still
it this
up.
maybe game.
Vire enemy still have Baron. And they are pushing forth onto this mid lane turret. Oh, big engage. Scuffed Ratones are trying to hold them back. There it is. Tough so falls. Espinas gets the kill. My gosh, Zambiru the goat. He did it again, guys. He's carrying yet another game to victory. Darkin flashes in, trying to hold back this game. That's 1 tower, that's 2 towers. And we are now bashing on to the Nexus. It's GG for Vire enemy. Nice little game there played. Victory overall. A bit of a team diff arcade next Saturday. Nice, let's see. Alright, the draft has started. First ban, Evelyn. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a Vayne ban now. But let's see.
Or will they leave Shen open?
There's Aatrox getting banned out now. Darkin has yet to play a single game of this champion. I'm sorry for him. Must be nice to see him pop off a bit here. Asol similarly for Saucy, it is his main champion. Does get banned out here. And Shen is there. Twitch is also now banned from Vire enemy. Scuffed Ratones. Do they ban the Vayne? What was their ban before this? Remind me, do you remember? What were they banning before?
They were banning, I think, the exact same thing, no?
The third ban.
Oh, it was
Memef,
Misfortune.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
there you go.
So the Vayne still gets through. Holy, okay. Let's see what Viral may pick first here. Maybe a jungler? Or just the AD carry, the Ashe. There it is again for Benas. His comfort pick. It's nice to see there, of course. And Scuffed Ratones, what do we answer with? Do we go Vayne ourselves? Maybe that's the play they were looking for.
They can always pick Braum again. Braum is a very nice answer to Ashe as an R1. I think it does make a lot of sense. You can, of course, draft your bot lane immediately now. You can, of course, try to hide your support until R3. Maybe playing a AD carry and jungler here. As we do see a Senna. Senna, again, fair champion. Basically, say Scuffed Ratones, of course, one of the classic champions for Sinister here. I'm curious what they're going to pick as an R2 here. Will they go for a jungle? Maybe wait out for a support? Or will they just go straight to Bard? Okay. They're going straight to Bard. I wonder if we'll see the exact same comp that was played in game 1. I hope not for Fire Enemy. For Fire Enemy's sake, I really hope it's not the same comp.
We'll see if Maokai
Question
gets
here.
locked in later on. I'm curious who gets the counter pick option here as Scuffed Ratones taking red. I hope it's not their way of saying, Fire Enemy, you wanted red 2 games in a row? Well, no way, Jose. We're taking red this time. But I hope there's a strategy to it. Ash, bro.
If I see Maokai here, man, I swear to God. Come on, guys. Let's
No,
not
not
for
Maokai. Oh, Nocturne.
Come
Has
on,
to be
man.
Nocturne.
Please. I don't know. It feels like maybe they just like the Braum. They think it makes sense.
There's
Nocturne is, of
Nocturne.
course, picked.
Let's see the Maokai pick from Scuffed Ratones. Whoops, I'm spoiling the draft. My bad.
Spoiling the draft. I think, realistically, Jarvan just makes more sense here if you're going to pick Maokai, but they played Maokai 2 games in a row. Will they pick 3? Who knows?
I really like the Jarvan combination with Senna. Even with something like Xin Zhao, maybe it could work out. But let's see how it goes. Scuffed Ratones last few seconds to pick. And there it's
Echo.
an Echo. Is this Echo mid or Echo jungle is the question. Could be both.
Echo Jungle does work. Echo Jungle does work here. You have the Bard, who can, of course, set up the W here. Very nice convergence from Echo after the Bard ult. Could honestly be very huge for Ratones. I also like that they're keeping it open. They picked a champ which can easily flex jungle or mid, depending on what they need. Very nice pick. Very nice pick from Scuffed Ratones. And I think this is the type of match and like draft that I at least I'm expecting from them. I'm curious what the bans are. What is with this Fizz ban? Does like Saucy play Amin Fizz, or like what's going on?
Yeah, that could potentially be it, of course. So let's see how it all ends up here. This is the last match, guys. Alright, whoever wins this goes to the finals for the lower bracket, which will play on Saturday. Winner of that gets a €500 Eden Leisure voucher, and second place gets 150 in RP.
See you bowling.
RP.
RP.
Yeah, Riot Games was a pirate. Alright. Boom!
GP main.
Scuffed
We're not
Ratones
banning anything.
mugging Fire Enemy.
We don't need a last
Ban.
man. Wanted to ban Galio. Okay, does seem like that is in fact
Alright, it's a Galio ban.
it's a Galio ban.
And there's the Veigar ban. So once again, Vayne sort of makes it through. Now is Echo kind of the answer against Vayne? Is my question. What do you think? You know, the Galio would have protected Vayne. So maybe that's why they were looking for it, and they're like, you know, we picked Echo to protect, so yeah. What do you think?
Well, of course, we will be just in case people are wondering, we will be honoring the ban. Drafter is not a perfect website; it does sometimes freeze up.
That said, yeah, exactly. Galio does makes a lot of sense. It will, of course, protect a champion like the Vayne, like the Ash. It synergizes as well with the Nocturne. As Malfite has been picked. Okay. Now, there is one champion in my head here that I think makes a lot of sense. And there's one champion here who I think a lot of people would think makes sense in the mid lane for Scuffed Ratones, which I think doesn't. And I'll maybe go into a bit more detail later.
What are you thinking about?
So I think the champion that people will think fits here for the side of Scuffed Ratones is an Orianna mid. I don't think it fits, especially if I'm correct here, and we will see a Malzahar mid. Yes, okay. So this is what I was talking about. Look, Orianna can fit. It can fit. It's not the worst Malzahar matchup. The issue is, now that we've seen the full list of champions, especially with that Gnar there, I would much rather see a more aggressive battling sort of like champion mid lane. I'd like to see something like a Swain, a Talia, maybe even if he plays it in Aurelia, a Cho'Gath, a Silas. These types of champions I think here are gonna fit so much better mid lane. Provided that's not an Echo mid, in which case I really want to see the Jarvan now. I think Jarvan finishes this comp. However, it will of course be a Yasuo. That's fine. That is fine. That is one of these champions I was trying to mention. It's of course really nice with the Malphite. You can get a crazy engage here. A Bard ult or a Malphite ult into a Yasuo ult, into an Echo W, Senna ulting. This could be a very large wombo combo. And I'm going to call it right now. Scuffed Ratones, I think, have very clearly won this draft. I think, the only time that they're going to be behind is I think actually maybe never. Maybe there's a dip as they're finishing their second item, maybe. Yeah, there's probably going to be a bit of a dip as they're finishing their second item, but I think, yeah, I think after that point they just start winning again. So I'm very in favor of, I think, Scuffed Ratones' comp. I think it makes so much sense. I think it's so simple to execute. Realistically, it's going to be the Bard and the Senna who are the hardest to execute here, and we have seen Sinister on this Senna. We have seen Synth on this Bard. They know how to play these champions. And so I am incredibly confident in their ability to play the game out.
I agree with you as well. We've seen what they have to offer on Bard and Senna, so their bot lane is good. We've yet to see what Dove Soap does with his Yasuo. He's actually a Yasuo player overall, so it will be interesting to see. Of course, they have Malphite Yasuo, so overall it's gonna be a really strong combination there if they catch out any of Fire Enemy's champs. Now, I think without looking at team comms, just seeing Zambiro and Gnar, this is kind of similar to what we saw to game 1, and I have a feeling Scuffed Ratones are gonna run through this game because maybe Fire Enemy are losing a critical sort of carry from their team that could be performing plays on something stronger. But let's see how it goes. One last match.
One last match.
So in general here as well, Malzahar I think could have been good, but there's just too much to target. Ideally you would want to ult the Echo or the Yasuo maybe, but you know, overall I just see him potentially just getting instantly Malphite ulted into Yasuo ult, and that could drop him immediately. If Malzahar drops, Ashe should soon follow, and then Gnar and Nocturne shouldn't be too much of a problem for Senna or for Bard. I mean, Bard alone could probably one-shot Nocturne later on, even as a support. It's just that kind of champ. So, I don't know. Is Fire Enemy cooked? Or do they have what it takes? Let's see. What do you think, Nano? Do you think Fire Enemy have good champions for this matchup?
I'm a Scuffed Ratones fan, man. I don't know what else to say. I think their comp is just, yeah. I mean, they struggled a bit maybe with that second game draft. They did pick the Croc, and they did suffer the consequences of picking the Croc. That said, this game, I think their comp is, it just looks so clean. You know, it makes so much sense. You have damage, you have utility, you have scaling, you have early, you have pretty much everything you want. There is, of course, maybe a bit of danger coming from, of course, the Malzahar ult in those early game skirmishes, maybe a big Gnar ult that could kind of disrupt your game. That said, man, I mean, look, a QSS on Yasuo, and I think the game just is over, to be completely honest. Maybe he doesn't even need it. Maybe Malphite just ults in and he just follows up with the R. This is a crazy comp, and this is the kind of comp which you need to just run over everyone.
I fully agree. I mean, nothing against Fire Enemy, of course. It's just the comps we're talking about here. But let's say Zambiru gets ahead on the Snar. We have the Ash ult, Nocturne into Malzahar. Zambiru gets his giant Gnar off, stuns everyone. And then the Ash flashes the Malphite R. And then
it's still definitely playable. It's still definitely playable for Fire Enemy. It's just Fire Enemy need to play well, and Scuffed Ratones just need to play the game, and that's how both team wins. That's how that's the teams win on both sides. But yeah, I don't know. What side do you think is gonna? Tell me about the jungle matchup, because I'm actually not that familiar about Nocturne versus Echo. Like, how does this work?
Yeah, I mean, Nocturne will pretty much beat up anyone if they decide to 1v1 him. He has really good dueling ability. But let's see. Getting into the game, one quick ad.
XP Arcade at the Eden. Malta's biggest arcade. Delta Strike at the Eden. Laser tag taken to the next level. The Eden, Malta's prime entertainment destination.
Yeah, we're here, guys. Still loading in. Few seconds before this glorious game plays out. And here we are. A summoner has disconnected. No worries, I'm sure he'll be back soon. I guess we got a quick pause just before things get spicy. While we're here, anyone in chat, what do you think? Who's gonna win this? Malphite jungle. No. Alright, here we are. We're loading in. Nice and easy. We have Red Road Rebel with SR Bracoon as well. Maybe they're pointing out for their pick'ems. Let's see.
Becomes gaming.
So do we get an invade this time? It doesn't seem like it is the case. Spinas and Dev kind of backing off this time. This should be an interesting game. Overall, everyone kind of wants this win. I know SR are really upset about their last loss, and I bet Zambiru is trying his best to carry on via your enemy into the finals. Alright, alright. Life is your enemy, man. Vi apparently means French. Oh, means life in French. Oh no. Let's see. What do you think will be most volatile, Nano? From so far?
All 6 mid lane. Pre-6, I think it will be this jungle. I think we're gonna be seeing, like, hopefully seeing some like fights forced by the Nocturne in his favor, where he just tries to deal as much damage as possible to the Echo, before the Echo, of course, can get a bunch of items and just run away with the game.
Yep, so we might get some invades here if YOLO Swag Killer looks for them. He could try to invade this Echo, who's usually very weak earlier on. And meanwhile, Zambiru, using his range advantage, he should be able to win against this Malphite. Or not. I'm not too sure how that works. I think Same was in the similar position, and he called it a hard matchup. So we'll have to see. Meanwhile, Sinister
see.
is very comfortable there on his Senna.
As we do see the Bard playing very, very, very aggressively here, hoping he can try to do something mid lane. He's not... He's playing patiently, he's waiting, he's hoping the Malzahar Harbor steps. There is a Nocturne here. Echo will try to help in this 2v2. I wonder if they will keep going, if they'll just choose to disengage. Doesn't look like they're gonna be trying to do anything crazy here. They'll just disengage.
Bit of a slow start, of course, both teams will be respecting it. Look at Sint, as just as I say that, there's a flash forward for Sinister, the W is missed. Death flashes as well. Oh, almost gets the Q for Sint. So a lot of flashes traded there. Meanwhile in the mid lane, Duff Soap finding a trade onto Saucy's Malzahar. It does seem like he's a lot more confident on this pick.
I am a bit curious what will be happening here. In the bot lane, will we see one side sort of like come out as being overtly strong against the other? Or wait a second, YOLO Swag I'm not sure about taking that portal. Synth does miss his Bard Q, but that could have maybe been a little bit disastrous. Had that Q connected.
Yeah, Sint
We do.
maybe feeling the nerves of the game. I can even see Sinister here dropping some CS, which is a bit unlike him. So far Scuffed Ratones are sort of taking their time trying to... Oh no, Darkin with the respecting flash. I didn't like the patience from Darkin. If it was the same with Eversio, this might have been a different story, but he's learned his lesson so far. Let's see.
He has learned his lesson. He is playing noticeably safer. Sitting back, he is scaling. He has fallen quite a bit behind in CS, but that is what you expect when you are playing Dinar. Very nice little sidestep from Binas. As the Malzahar Rome appears. Biru does have that freeze. No, it does look like it has broken, especially with that Q. It's definitely broken now. Has turned into a slow push. Darken, however, you are playing too far up against that. No, he would have killed him. I think he unironically would have killed him if he just salted. Am I crazy? Darken, I guess, not risking it, playing it a bit safe. Choosing it's maybe not the best idea there to all in, rather just waiting out the Meganar. As the Meganar, however, will not wait it out, and he will get the first blood onto Darkin. So I'm now setting up his wave. More or less just making sure that his tower has been adequately hit. YOLO Swag Killer here may be in a bit of a dangerous position. You do not have a top laner. He does have Flash available. Flash will go in, but so will be from Dove Soap and Locke. And that is two people who are now not allowing anyone to invade their red buff.
seems like we once again are caught in a very equal game so far. Both sides. Oh, here comes the as soon as I talk, just pure action. There's the Nocturnal. There's the Malzahara. A perfect combination here from via your enemy.
Just play safe.
Oh my gosh, the moment I'm talking, someone's dying. Let's see what happens here. Via enemy with the slight edge. YOLO Specular has really been playing great over the last 3 games. Locke doing his best, of course, now closer to his roots on an AP jungler. So let's see how he can manage to return the favor on this gank.
Biro and Darken do not want to give up these grubs easily. Zambiru, you are in a bit of a dangerous position. Dovsoap, last second using his ult, extending that CC as long as possible. Zam forced to flash out. As Dovsoap, he is putting pressure on. One grub has fallen. There is an ult. Lock.
Locke needs to lock in. He just walked into that boomerang and does fall. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, what's been going on here? That's a 30 CS lead for Benas. Very uncommon from the last matches we've seen overall.
30 CS lead in bot lane. And a 40 CS lead in top lane. It's I would they say it's not looking good, bruv. As Benas has been comboed here.
Oh, there's the flash from Benas as Dev falls under mana there and he does get hit. Nothing much happening soon after that, as we do see a roam here potentially from Dovsoap. But Benas respecting it, does manage to recall in time. Zambiru gets the next kill. Guys, it's looking a bit doomed for Scuffed Ratones at the moment, but this is just how the last games were going. And it always turned around, but so far looking very via your enemy, unlike our prediction.
Man, it is very, very Vi favored so far. I mean, it is not looking good at all for the side of Scuffed Ratones. As the Ash ult, will it hit the Senna? And it will. Although she will sort of channel her back again. But now there's a Nocturne. And the Nocturne is in range. Is he not? Why is he not ulting? Manka W. Saucy here in surprisingly hard winning that 1v1. Will Dovsoap go down? And just barely goes down. Scuffed Ratones, what is going on?
Damn, it just seems like it's all falling apart. What was 2 close games is quickly turning red very quickly here. Crazy CS lead in top lane, bot lane, mid lane. It's really just a 10 CS lead here for Locke that's holding Scuffed Ratones with a slight advantage. But this is looking really bad overall for Scuffed Ratones. Can something happen here? Can we get the comp? Can we even get to the point where we can throw out our combination of Malphite Yasuo and get something going? We'll have to wait and see.
Very nice ult here from Synth. And that does look like a dead Ash kill onto Locke here. Dev will go down, but here comes the Malzahar. The TP is in. Saucy is holding. Never mind, he's not holding his R. He does not have it. As Dev will slowly go down to Locke, but here's the Yasuo. The autos are coming out. The ult will go on to YOLO Swagkiller. They are both so low. Can they not finish them off? And no, they cannot. But here comes Synth. No way, Synth. Oh. I thought that was going to be a really insane play and just gets 2 kills. Sadly, the Ash ult does come in, saving Saucy and giving him yet another kill. Darkin. Collapses on Beetle. Says no TPing for you. And that will be a Drake. Onto Scuffed Ratones. I will say this, for a team that is quote-unquote behind in 3k gold, I kind of can't tell. You really kind of can't tell. I mean, they're still playing incredibly aggressively. They're still making these plays across the map. They're still, weirdly enough, 2 objectives up. Or like 1 objective up, I guess, since it's 2-to-1 grubs. It's not what you would expect from a team that has fallen behind. Of course, their comp is pretty strong. As it is, Starkin attempts to slap Zambiru, soften him up. Or his jungler, who is of course very much nearby. Darkin, however, you may want to play a bit safe. That is still a Gnar who is monstrously ahead of you. And he will go down. I don't think the tower is enough. It is not. Locke may eventually catch him and kill him, but I mean, this is going to be a lot more difficult now. Locke, you cannot do that. I guess you can. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Man, it is... Scuffed Ratones living a little bit too close up to their name. Yeah, it's definitely not their cleanest game.
Yeah, so far, I mean, wow. But, I mean, this series has just been like this. One team falls behind, bunch of mistakes happen, and the other team just slowly crawls back into it. We see Locke now with that 3-kill lead, and we know he's a dangerous player on Scuffed Ratones. Him and Sinister have been playing really well overall. So let's see if he can bring it forth for his team. This is Zambiru's world, and we are just living in it. L9 Lemon Melon Ansem. Oi oi, Ventus likes what he's saying. It's absolute cinema. Sinister getting engaged on Benas. Gets Bard ulted. There's a flash from Benas. Dev returns with the ult. Abilities thrown left, right, and center, but nothing happens in the end. But it does seem like we are showing our teeth, fighting to the bitter end. We see Locke now gravitating towards this bot lane, but he chooses otherwise. YOLO Swag Killer is in that top side. Here it comes. Rift Herald is started for Viral and Meanwhile. Meanwhile, Locke is here to fight off the flash bot lane. That's 1 kill. Now can he get Dev? That's a lot of damage. He still has his Echo Ult, and there it is. That's 2 kills for the Scuffed Ratones. 1 for Sinister, 1 for Locke, and a shutdown on top. All in exchange for this Herald. It's really problematic though what we're seeing here at the top side for Scuffed Ratones. There's the ult from Darkin. There's Dove following up. Zambiru flashes. He does use the E, but Zambiru is out of options now. Here comes the Nocturne ult. This could also be a dead Nocturne.
Just came in to die.
Perfectly what SR wants. Here comes Saucy. We might get the same. Darkin, a bit late on his response. There's the shield from Senna. The knock-up is not enough to extend this play as Darkin walks away like a champ. 2-for-1 trade in favor of Scuffed Ratones. Wow, what an action-packed game so far. I'm curious what follows, as the gold has pretty much stabilized and neutralized at this point. Items across the board. If there's anything to learn from this match, it's to not give up your leads, and that's exactly what's going on in all 3 games so far. Scuffed Ratones crawling their way back into this game. Oh, stuff so overextended here. Let's see. Locke is around. Here comes the teleport. The teleport is there from Saucy. Now the Saucy has
available.
Oh, Benas is very low to be that far up. Locke has his ult if he needs it. He does back off. Darkin gets stunned, but he should be tanky enough to walk away. Ooh, a picture perfect ult from Synth forces Dev to flash, but Saucy is caught within it, and there comes down goes Saucy as SR find another 2 kills to put to their credit score. But we see Zambiru hammering away against that top lane tier 1. Sorry, tier 2. And meanwhile, in the bot side, there's a lot of action as the remainder of Scuffed Ratones are chasing behind YOLO Swag Killer. Zambiru does secure this tier 2, and he will be probably completing his 2nd item. very ahead Zambiru at the moment.
It is a bit of a crazy series. Scuffed Ratones, if they do get this Drake, though, I will say they are very in favored here to win. Swag Killer is attempting to not get caught here. The Herald is here, does look like he will be forced. This may be a misplay. You may be giving up the Drake here.
Killer.
TP does come out from Zambiru, which means they will disengage. However, you've now used Nocturne Flash and Gnar TP just to fix your mistakes. Zambiru, you are so deep, and that is going to be a dead Gnar.
Here comes YOLO Swag Killer. He does get Dove, but he does fall in the end. So far, it's a 3-for-1. Down goes Binas, 4-for-1. And there goes the stun onto Saucy. Synth playing picture perfect on his Bard. Starting the fight off with a stun, ending it with a stun. And that's a clean ace, 1-for-5 for the favor of Scuffed Ratones. And Dragon on top, cherry picking.
I know it's early. I know it's 19 minutes. I'm calling it. I think Scuffed Ratones have this in the bag.
Are we gonna see Scuffed Ratones at the Eden at XP Arcade on Saturday? Nano, we need their autographs if it's the case. After this match.
Yeah, I'll take a picture with Synth, man.
Oh, you're good.
Real talk.
Synth's biggest fan.
Synth's biggest fan. Give me a name change. No, seriously though, I mean this guy plays Bard and Trash like no other. Very impressive odds, very nice Qs, very good portals. It does of course help that he does have Sinister as his AD carry. I will not lie. But man, it is very nice to see.
Alright. Better luck next time. Let's see now. Sinister, Dove, Synth really turned this game around. Where is Locke? He's also the OG of the transformation. He needs the Travadons to spike here, maybe before Atakan. Do we get a quick pick? Darkin is in the bot side, he doesn't have teleport. This could be an opener for Vire enemy. Oh, look at the damage Zambiru brings to the table at the moment. Completely shredding.
YOLO Swag Killer, I do not know about disengage. Synth, wow. Okay, and then the Q to stun. Dove will still go down. Locke is locked down by the Mazahalt. However, that is a dead Nocturne. Darkin, meanwhile, is trying to return some damage onto Zambiru. Hopefully, I don't think he knows that he doesn't have TP. Probably just chunking him to make sure that he cannot join this fight. As Sinister picks up 1 kill. Does look like they will get the mid-tier 2 and they will run straight to Atakan after it. Zambiru, you wanna playing a tiny bit of fire there. The bot lane tier 2 though will go down. 700 gold onto Zam. However, that will be an Atakan going over the Scuffed Ratones. So right now, if Scuffed Ratones win, they can take the Eden Leisure voucher and we go watch a movie. Any movie enjoyers in chat? As Dove does flash into tower, but he may have just baited the Lock into dying. Bit of a sad situation there. No objective though present, so will just be a shutdown. Of course, Drake will be spawning in 2 minutes. Now, there is a Malphite ult available. There's a Yasuo ult available. If he does see them grouped up, Darkin can find a very fat ult here. Of course, you have to keep in mind that you are playing 5v4, so it has to be a perfect Malphite R to realistically go in. It would be, of course, safer to just play safe, wait for your jungler, but, you know, there's always a possibility. Always have to keep in mind. Especially if you can manage to get that Malzahar, that Gnar, and that Ashe together, I mean. Fight like that could win them the game. That said, it might also be safer, as it does look like they have found... Oh, he has not timed the ult correctly. He will at least kill the Braum. YOLO Sweckler will also go down. Saucy is forced to flash out. His ult is still not available. And that is why you don't see Malzahar that often. His ult cooldown is so large, and it's such a large part of his kit. Is the Yasuo dead? Barely not. Locke is forced to R. However, he will go down to Zambiru. The Ashe ult does not land. Take a shot. As Saucy may be over... No, he will be fine. He'll be fine. There is, of course, a Drake available in 30 seconds. Locke will spawn exactly with that time. Will he be able to walk it? Will they be able to make it? As it does look like Dove will walk top. He does have TP.
It was really well played there by Benas during that fight. He dealt a lot of damage and staying safe. If the timing was better from Darkin, that fight could have been very, very dangerous for your enemy. But since Benas stayed alive, he managed to kite back. He dropped Darkin very low. He sent Dove Soap to the infirmary, and then he still managed to help get the kill onto Locke. Very well played there by Benas. And now Dragon is starting up, is getting started by your enemy. Scuffed Ratones are aware of it. It is their soul point, but they can't do anything about it, as they are not prepared for it. Damn, they seem to be overextended here. They are not fighting on their terms. This could be a bad fight for Scuffed Ratones. Darkin caught in the middle of it, and he does fall down. It's a shutdown for Zambiru. We do see Locke here trying to mitigate some of it. Benas falling very low. Locke holding all his patience to try and not ult. There goes the snipe from Sinister. So AD carry is down for the Malphite. That Malzahar E does so much damage from Saucy. In the meanwhile, for this 1-for-1, we did see a Dove Soap here pushing in the top lane. It will get teleported to be saved by Saucy. As the Baron now spawns, it will be the main objective of choice for the next two teams. Nano, who do you think is in favor to get this Baron so far?
It really depends. It really does depend. This Malzahar is obviously a big issue. That said, if Ratones are ready to respond to him the second he clicks that R, it's kind of useless. I'm not gonna lie. Malzahar, of course, like you were saying, I mean, he's really good for locking down priority targets. But when 3+ members of Los Ratones are priority targets, it's a bit difficult to pick one. Of course, you do have Zambiru, who can technically find a very nice ult in the Baron choke point. Or of course, this is hoping that he manages to build up his rage, finds the right time to walk in to engage, and finds them grouped up next to the wall. Man, Scuffed Ratones just have it so much easier. All they need to do is find a pick onto the Ashe and the Malzahar, either or really, and they can sort of just go straight for this Baron. A Synth is zooming across the map. I will point out that is a 99 farm Malphite.
I mean, it's... Oh my god, he's one and... yeah, he's a bit behind, isn't he? I didn't really catch that earlier. But everyone seems to be on 2 items. I don't know, it's kind of weird right now. How are we in 26 minutes? Well, I guess there's a lot of shutdowns going on, right? Because a lot of members on the side of Scuffed Ratones are on that 3rd item. And on the side of Fire Enemy, we only have Zambiru. And now, okay, Saucy finishes Rylai, so... Yeah.
Thankfully, this Malphite only exists to click ultimate, and you don't need items for that.
Yeah. Shout out to Season 2 jungling. All we needed was CC and a Philosopher's Stone and a Dream. So yeah, Malphite's still getting in his value. Rock solid.
We need a Philosopher's Stone on Malphite ASAP. And this Senna is...
Yeah, how much stacks he has? He has 108 stacks, ladies and gentlemen.
And the range on the Senna is quite crazy. That is a... How much range is that? 850 range auto. Senna able to auto you from half of the map. And stuff. So will he look for a 1v1 with Zambiro? I kind of am against it. I don't think it's the smartest idea here, especially when he's in his mega.
Let's see here,
So you have
Darkin does come down to the bot side, but it does signal via your enemy to start considering this Baron as an option. It seems they have difficulty sometimes clearing wards in this team when it comes to Baron without attacking it, but YOLO Swag Killer does find the honey fruit. He's right back up, ready to serving smites. Alright, let's see if Zambiro with this recall can fight for this dragon. This is gonna be strange. Are we going for Baron? Are we going for the dragon? It's soul point for Scuffed Ratones, but I mean Baron just gives so much gold, so much XP, a lot of value. The pushing ability of Baron as well. One team fight could end the game thanks to Baron. We'll have to check this out. Ocean Dragon spawning in the next 30 seconds.
Hawk is in a bit of a dangerous position here.
So does, yeah, a shout out here. Malphite might steal the dragon with a Q. I forgot which match that watch was. It was a Baron though, which was a bit insane, but let's see. Does seem like both teams decided on this dragon to be priority. Synth might get caught out here. Saucy has a great angle to ult. Doesn't seem like much will happen though.
Keep your eyes on Zambiro. He is at full rage.
Oh, Zambiro finds the
comes
engage.
in.
Ooh,
He does find it.
Godlike
However,
engage
is
from
it
Zambiro.
enough? The Balsahar has flash ulted.
Oh, it seems like Dubsop gets the
It is
first kill.
enough.
Let's see, Binas throwing out a lot of damage. Lock bursting, that's a
Sinister
lot of
is
damage.
doing so much damage.
The dragon is started. This is a massive fight for Scuffed Ratones to win, especially this late into the game. With such a crazy engage from Zambiro, it has to also demoralize a bit via your enemy. Let's hope they still stay in it for this next coming fight. Zambiro with an amazing engage to start it off, but overall not really working out. And this could be also the mid lane tier 2 and Baron. But I do think Scuffed Ratones should be thinking about that recall before taking any further fights. Oi, oi, oi.
Ocean Soul.
Oh, look at that. Zambiro finding massive damage onto this soap. There's the other
Wonder
stuff.
if
And
he
there's the
can,
solo
he
kill.
will.
Zambiro. That's why he's the GOAT. Look at him, Mr. Nar. Boom. Making us believe that Nar is a good champion. Don't believe this propaganda. Alright, guys.
Don't believe the propaganda.
Let's see it. Baron is the next play here without Dufso being here, without the 7-6 Yasuo. It is queuing fire enemy to start this. Now Echo is the king of smite stealing. Can Locke do it? 9k health for Baron. Sinister gets
Zambiro
stunned.
may be a tiny bit out of position. They may very well.
Oh, the bard out from Sin delays it. Locke gets ulted by
Zambiro's still
Saucy.
not dead.
Zambiro falls. The Baron is at 1k health. YOLO Swag finishes it. Vire enemy secure the dragon. Oh, the Baron. Dev falls. Let's see. As Scuffed Ratones give chase here. Benas gets slowed and he does get taken down. Sin
Senna
takes the
autoing
kill.
Benas from 8 miles away.
So we still have 2 members with Baron. That does stall the push here. It does give more time for Vire enemy to not get pushed in. But damn, they can't catch a break, can they? This game started off such favoring Vire enemy, and slowly but surely they were 50 CS up in both mid and top. 50 CS, guys. Scuffed Ratones through sheer will, talent, and teamwork and determination are somehow here. 28 kills to 15 with the inhibitor down, following the Baron fight with a Drake Soul on top. This is the stuff of legends. This is why people enter competitive tournaments. It's to have moments like this, where you and your team get a nice victory after falling behind. Vera Jansen naqbel miegħek jiena nano, u I approve this message. Oh,
My ass is not Mickey Mouse.
oh boy. Darkin u Zambiru. Darkin forced to alt out. I like the respect here from Darkin. He's really come a long way since the start of this series. Coach Lemon telling me not to do that again. Lemon, you're our moderator. You can't do that to me. Oy, oy, oy. Oh, Sint finds the stun. Dev is in trouble. Sint, ooh, barely missing that out, but here comes the portal. What?
What? Am I crazy? What? He spell shielded.
Did Bard auto attack before? Damn, how did Bard stun that?
That's a bug, or as I've been saying this entire series, Sint
Oh,
is the god.
God.
It's one of the two.
Oh god, we have to chrono break. Hey Lalo. Guys, this match doesn't count. We have to start it again.
No.
No, come on, man. What is this? Does anyone know what happened there? In the chat, can someone explain it?
Does Bard's Q count as two abilities? I'm genuinely curious. Does the damage
Oh
at the
my
beginning
God. Oh my
and the
God.
stun after
Yes,
count
yes,
as two
yes.
abilities?
Meanwhile, Zambiru gets comboed here, but he does a nice alt. But he is sadly 1v4 at the moment. And Sint finishes it off from half a monitor away. With that Senna. Damn.
Disgusting little Senna champion.
So to clarify, Nocturne blocked the first Q that hit him, but by the time the Bard Q hits the wall, Nocturne doesn't have the spell shield. So if you want to
So
spell
Bard Q
shield,
is two abilities.
if you want to hit the stun, if you want to spell shield the stun, you have to spell shield when it hits the wall. And I want to say hello to Edge Tony in the chat, still with Edge in his name. Oh my god. Throw back to how many years? Jesus Christ, it's really been that long. 13 years ago or something like that. Throw back to 10 years ago when Edge was a thing. Nice. The original Bombardino Crocodilo of Malta. Alright, let's see it. Locke finds a lot of
Currently-
damage onto Saucy. Another rotation would have finished him off, I'm sure.
The one thing that's being edged right now is the viewers from this game, as both teams seem to sort of be like taking these fights but not really committing to anything big.
We have a quote here from Fiery Ignition, but shouldn't it nullify? It's a spell shield, not a spell destroyer. So it nullified part 1, but part 2 it wasn't long enough. If it was Yasuo Wall, the spell itself would cease to exist.
Yeah, it does seem like Bard Q is made up of two parts, the part where it does damage and the part where it stuns. And it looks like you can only spell shield one part of that. Okay, very nice Bard.
But it's a bit crazy that Bard can do that to spell shields, huh? But sure.
It is, I agree.
Come on, guys. We're here, 36 minutes in. Almost an hour of since the last game. Elder's Drake is here. Zambiru is pushing again the top lane. The classic Zambiru push. Doesn't find the stun. SR started this Drake and they are very strong. Especially when Zambiru is not here. The Drake is at 3k
Nice
health.
TP from Dove Soap, immediate.
Oh, a great
Right
smite
here,
by Locke.
ready for the fight that's about to come out.
This should be game, guys. That's Elder Drake. Swag Killer falls. Down
I'm unsure
goes
if it
Saucy.
is. Scuffed Ratones have no waves. They've started the objective, they've taken the fight, they've won the fight, but they have no waves.
Look at Zambiru pushing in the top lane. That's a tier 3 tower gone. But this soap is here with Elder. Surely he can do this play. Zambiru has ult, let's keep in mind. That's the first part of the combo. This soap doesn't have a knock-up. Oh,
Nice up from Zambiru to not allow the ult, however, he will sadly go down.
oh, Sint with a great
Sint.
Bard ult. Predicting the jump from Braum. This is game, guys. There's the inhibitor spawning as well. Oh, look! Threading the needle there. Living it. Just barely. The
Nocturne
Nexus
is
turrets
up in 1
are
second.
hit.
He does have ultimate. He will ult. Here comes Malphite one-shotting the AD carry. Just play safe. And there goes
wow.
YOLO Games Cycler. And this will be that Scuffed Ratones will proceed.
Oh my god, guys. This was the first semi-finals match and we have our first finalists. Scuffed Ratones. Scuffed Ratones. Look at Sinister with an 11-0 20 KDA. 11-5-17 for luck. Crazy game all far. They've really learned and pushed their limits from what we've seen. Via enemy